Fire is my true responsibility. Combat. Leave them to me.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. Wonder Woman 121 from 1997 by the one and only John Byrne. All right. I'm getting back into a routine. I actually haven't recorded a video, love his signature, in a while here. Christmas just ended last week. It's just been hectic having people over, and so glad to get on with it. A couple of things here that I'm going to focus on this cover. Number one, I love the fact that on his pants they're all black, so you can't tell. So these are the kind of pants. Oh my god, I don't know the style of this pants, but here in the pocket, so they extend out, and so he's wearing these really cool looking pants. It's just you can't. Because he does them all black. He doesn't even carry any kind of hole lines. The second thing is this is one of my favorite eras of John Byrne. His brushwork is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. The dude just lays the ink where he thinks it's gonna go to, doesn't think about it twice, just goes blam blam blam. I mean, you can see that he's not even just whatever. Same here, and so. All right, Stone May Grow. And so this story, I believe here, is kind of two things going on at the same time here. So, yes, there is a definite mind in contact with Princess Diana, a young woman untrained but powerful. So you see this guy sitting here. And then here on the other side, there's someone reaching out to me, someone touching my mind. And of course, John Byrne writes and draws it. So, I won't tell. I could tell you again how many times. This is just one of my favorite versions of Byrne. And so we are in Gateway City here, the apartment of Jason Blood. And so Jason Blood, of course, is here, and he is the demon. And again, the blacks that he spots, he just, he doesn't care that, your eyes just kind of feel it, but he just, all black, no hold lines, no nothing, just, and so Jason Blood says, I'm glad you were able to join us at such a short notice, Randu. I knew you'd be able to work this out if anyone could. And Randu says here, the other mind is a long way away. However, on the ordeal of several thousand miles. I'm sorry, but it is most difficult for me to be more precise. And Mike here says, I'd say you're doing pretty good as is, Mr. Singh. And Cassandra says, so what are you going to do, Diana? You said that mind touching yours told you that your mom is dead. That I don't know. When I read it, it just made no sense here. And Jason Blood says, it seems to me that the thing to do, Diana, would be to track down this powerful mind Randu sensed and determine if the message was she sent you was true. And Mike says, I do know about that, Blood. With Diana in her weakened state, what with losing her hand and all, I mean, suppose this mind Mr. Singh senses is some supervillain out to get Diana. And Randu says, for what it's worth, I sense no hostile intent, quite in reverse. By the way, I have a playlist covering everything. Feel free to check that out. And so now we're going back to the other part of the story. Can you tell who it is, Miss Wallace? Angelica, is it Wonder Woman? And Angelica says, no, at least I don't think so. This feels like a male presence. And so back to the Wonder Woman part. And of course, she's bandaged up because she lost her hand. And Wonder Woman says, it seems, of course, it seems the course of action open to me is clear. Randu, if you're willing, I need you to serve in the office of a homing device to help me track the signal to its source. And so, and he says, it would be my pleasure to be of service, Your Highness. And Wonder Woman says, Diana, please. Any royal pretensions I left behind when I departed the shores of Paradise Island. Now, come. If we are to do this, we must do it quickly while I am still able, she says. Again, look at the ink lines just wherever. And that is so cool. I draw. I'm just an amateur, but I sweat every detail. And John Byrne, who's been doing this forever, just wherever he feels like it, just puts them in there. So we got Mike and Cassie both looking. And back then, Angelica says, this is too weird, Mom. My psychic flashes have never been something I could consciously control. It's always been more like a fancy party trick, telling fortunes that sometimes come true. But this is beyond me. And the doctor says, it was our only course of action, Miss Wallace. In that intensive care unit across the hall is a young woman who has quite literally turned to stone. When you used your abilities in an attempt to probe her mind, you discovered she is, or at least thinks she is, Hippolyta, the Queen of the Amazons, and Wonder Woman's mother. And so back to the story here. When I first read this and saw this was kind of split in two, I would read the Wonder Woman part first and then the Angelica part second. But in this case, I'm just going to read it all. And so I can't tell who's saying this, probably Mike. Are you sure you're up to this, Diana? And Wonder Woman says, I have no choice, Mike. The stiffness in my limbs increasing at an accelerating rate. It cannot be more than a matter of hours now before my whole body becomes as brittle as brittle as my shattered right hand. So you see them walking through here. Now stand back, if you would, my friends. This disc will expand rapidly to form the shape of my transparent aircraft, and I can never be sure precisely what form it will take. And so you can see Cassie a little surprised. Diana, she says here, again, the all black here. He's got a black suit now, and just all of it, just pretty cool. It's much more than some kind of delusion on Polly's part, Doctor. Those memories I saw in my brief contact with her were much more complex and detailed than anyone could just imagine. And the doctor says, I have no reason to doubt the memories you encountered. The very fact that Polly Athena has turned to stone lends a great credibility to your story, he says. Angelica, do you think you should try again to try to contact Wonder Woman? And Angelica's like, I don't know. And so here we go. John Byrne uses his own computer to create this. This is all computer generated from the 1990s. So this isn't Google. Google wasn't around then. This is just him doing some computer work for the panel. So he was quite the pioneer for digital stuff. So that's right. Old-fashioned John Byrne was a pioneer in digital drawing. Diana asks Jason Blood, and she says, I can't seem to control the functions of the aircraft substance. My mind is too agitated, too distracted. So this was the airplane, or was going to be, and you can see now that it just turned into goo. And Mike says, maybe if one of us tried. And Wonder Woman says, no, that would not work. I fear the hidden culture which made this aircraft a gift to me keyed its functions to my precise mental patterns. No one else can use it, she says here. Which means I shall need one more person's help. And so here, if you would all wait here, I will fetch Mister. I thought it was Campion. Maybe he missed the H. And so back here, the touch of that other mind just left me feeling so violated, invaded. How is she, Beulah? And the mom says she's still upset. I don't know if the doctor was right about coming back to her own room, being any help in calming her down. And this lady here says, come down to the kitchen and have a cup of tea, dear. It will help calm your own nerves. And so back here, in Champion's office here, I love how John Byrne, John Byrne does not skimp on backgrounds. This is phenomenal. So many people just doing other stuff, and John Byrne still, just masterfully. It is Campion. Okay. Maybe I've been reading it wrong this whole time. So, I don't like this. Why do we have to ask Harold Campion for help, Diana? Couldn't you just call one of your pals from the Justice League, Superman or Flash, and Wonder Woman says, it is not our habit in that organization to call upon our fellow members for help until we have exhausted all other means available to us, Mike. After all, Superman and the others have their own lives, their own problems to deal with. And Cassie says, yeah, especially Superman. Something real weird has happened to him. Although I think that new suit is kind of cool. I think this was when Superman was like the blue and red Superman with the like electric companies or electric powers. So, and Wonder Woman says, Mike, I know you have your own reasons for dislike and trusting Campion, but you must understand he is the only one I feel comfortable turning to for help at this time. And so off panel, and rightly so, Diana. And so back here, it's never been easy for Angelica, always sick when she was a child, and her father dying before she was 10 years old. And then when she started to become a woman, on top of everything else, those psychic flashes started. And then the other lady says, don't berate yourself, Beulah. You've done everything any mother could do. Angelica has grown into a fine, strong, young woman. She'll come through this like she has all her other troubles. Maybe, Clarice, but boys in school and career have not prepared her for finding out her friend is Queen of the Amazons. And Clarice says, maybe it was something about that drew Angelica to Polly in the first place. I think there should have been a comma somewhere. Maybe not. They did seem to bond very quickly after Polly came to a room here. Certainly, a Jelly never took a shine to any of your other boarders. And she says here, Jelly? And so Campion says, my secretary has informed me of your dilemma. Of course, I will be only too happy to help you in any way I can, he says. My primary need now is transportation, Campion. Mr. Singh and I need to follow an elusive trail cross country. Love the simplicity of how he does her lasso. Really cool here. And then here's the full picture here. And Campion says, of course, and in my fleet I have several of the fastest aircraft in the world. Will you require any special considerations, Mr. Singh? And he says, no, sir, I kind of weak here. I am not sure, my friend. Oh, sorry here. Randu, what's wrong? I always forget that sometimes Byrne puts it at the very bottom here. I am not sure, my friend. I felt almost an intoxication as though I were in the presence of a vast and powerful mind. And Blood says, I feel it too, Randu. Be careful around this Campion. There's more to him than Diana suspects, I think. I believe Campion is Hercules, or Heracles, as it is in the. I believe Hercules is Roman and Heracles is Greek. So, but the names now in modern times are used interchangeably. It's been a long time since anyone's called me that, Aunt Clarice. Even you, Mom. Angelica, you shouldn't be up, baby. And the mom says, look at you. You're still trembling like a leaf. And Angelica says, and not without good reason, Mom. That mind I felt before just reached out to touch me again. More than that, I felt it sweep across me like a radar beam or something here. So Campion says, you are recovered, Mr. Singh? Good. My private helicopter is on the roof. We can be at the airfield in a matter of minutes. And Casey says, this sucks. Why can't we go with them? And Jason Blood says, that is Diana's choice, Cassie. At the very least we can do is honor it. So, love again. Look at the way Byrne just draws the room. Oh, it's just wonderful. May I show you out, says the secretary. And so this guy says, that was too close. Both the Indian gentleman and Jason Blood appear to be most sensitive minds, he says here. And so this is a centaur, I believe. Half man, half horse. They could have upset the whole plan with a word. And this, that's not the secretary. This lady says, think they suspect the master's true nature, this lady says. And the centaur here says, I'm not sure, but if they do, it may be necessary to take steps to prevent them from sharing their knowledge with the Amazon. So we now go back to the other part here, and where the stories are gonna, I believe, join. And I felt it close, and you can see the doorbell here. Doorbell, I'll get it. And she walks to here, and of course there's Wonder Woman. And she introduces herself. I am Wonder Woman. That's awesome. I have reason to believe someone in this house is attempting to make contact with me, she says. And now we get an interlude, and this is Artemis here. She was Wonder Woman for a brief time before John Byrne took over during Deodato's run, which I have shared. There can be no doubt, says this person here, though in the past there have been times when he has served as a force of good. Those days are clearly over. He has seen his friends crippled and horribly transformed, and not only has he done nothing to aid them, he seems content to leave them thus. Clearly, the magics of Merlin have lost whatever power they may have had over his demon. And here's pictures of Blood and the demon. It saddens me only that to kill the monster we seem to have no choice but destroy the man who has been his vessel, a man who has befriended your colleague, Princess Diana of Themyscira. You understand this? And Artemis says, I do. Pretty cool. And she says, but I cannot believe Diana would stand against me if she was made to understand herself that this is necessary. Artemis is ready to do what must be done, Nathaniel. And so, the creature, she continues, the creature that dwells in Jason Blood shall perish before the sun has set twice more on his accursed form. And so in this building, she's in here. Mother, yells Diana again. The perspective, the backgrounds, and so she kind of faints here, and Campion catches her. Have care, princess. You are weak and growing weaker. It is ill-advised for you to exert yourself, he says. Cold and hard as stone, but you said she is not dead, doctor. And the doctor says, I said I can't be sure, Wonder Woman. She has no pulse, no respiration, but I have no experience with anything even remotely like this. And Campion just kind of in the background with that scowl. And Wonder Woman says, and you can see she's turning to There is but one thing I can do, since my mother and myself seem to be afflicted with the same problem. It is logical to assume that the cause is somehow connected to our both having left Paradise Island. That is where we must both return. The doctor's like, Paradise Island, the home of the Amazons. And she's like, yes, I did not leave there on the happiest of terms. It seems to have been some time since I returned, but I have no choice now. If a solution is to be found, it will most likely, certainly lie in the shores of Themyscira. Champion, see, Campion, I have no idea. Are you prepared to transport me and my mother to our homeland? And he says, I am. Though it is my understanding that the island does not truly exist as part of the mortal scheme of things. There is no map that shows the way to Themyscira. It is found by following a path only a true Amazon can sense. And so he tells her, she gives instructions, and the pilot does it. And so the color of the sky is changing. The time of day has shifted, and you can see she's getting worse. As Themyscira exists in a place that is not a place, so it exists in a time that is not a time, champion. Oh, as she says, and she collapses here. See, I was not wrong. It is champion. They missed the H in both times. So, and he picks her up. Princess Diana has fainted. Quick, fetch wine, the strongest brew from the Dionysus private stock, she says here. At once, my lord. You must not die, Princess of the Amazon. I came to Gateway City to gain your heart, that I might extract through you an ancient vengeance on your mother and your kind. Of course, she can't hear it, so. How could I know you would be the one to win my heart, and with no potions or trickery, with nothing but your beauty, intelligence, and courage and grace? And she says, the wine, my lord. Drink this, sweet Diana. It will give you the strength to lead us the rest of the way to the island. And this person here says, my lord, I think we have already arrived. And here we have, nice, beautifully done. John Byrne is so good at conveying a simple yet elegant and powerful image. That is very cool. And so we get a second interlude here. A rugged road along the New England coast. Not at all a place to be when the heaven sees fit to unleash upon the world the full might of their ancient fury. Daddy, Daddy, I'm scared, says this little kid. I know you are, princess, but you have to be brave for Daddy. See what you can do to keep your brother from crying, says to the other one. That he has his hands full staying on the road in this storm. And a truck here, especially since every trucker in the universe seems to be using this road tonight. Daddy, what's that light? The more headlights, baby. That's all I can, and you can see it here. Great use of shadows as this car now runs off the road here and explodes. Whoa. And so we continue here. This is Themyscira, to be sure, but it has changed much since last I was here. And when was that, champion? When have you walked on the hills of Paradise Island? Diana, I did not know you were awake. How do you feel? And she says, never mind that. Answer my question, champion. It is time and past time that we dispose of your mysteries. And he says, Diana, I. And then this one says, where is everyone? There's absolutely no one in sight. There's not a soul stirring anywhere. So, beautiful work here. This is most disturbing, my lord. Not only is there no sign of life, there is no sound either. You're right. If all the Amazons had gathered in one place, one would expect to hear some indication of it. And Wonder Woman says, unless Zeus and Hera protect me, it cannot be. Quickly, the Temple of Athena. If there is an answer to be found, it will be found there. Diana, do not exert yourself. And she goes, yes, look, all my sisters are gathered there. And she goes, Now we shall have, and then she pauses, answers, and oh no, 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 no. They're all statues. They have all turned to stone. And so she calls him out. And then Champion says, listen, do you hear? Prayers, songs so soft as to be barely a whisper, but a special acoustic to the temple designed to amplify such sounds. And so she's running up. There's someone still alive. And so, Princess Diana, is that you? I cannot see you. And so, Udaya, it seems the gods have abandoned us, says Wonder Woman. That is exactly what has happened, Princess. We Amazons were created by the great gods of Olympus, but those gods have departed this earthly realm, and with them have gone the powers that gave us life. But it has been so long, months, since the gods left Udea. Why has this affliction come upon us now? That I cannot answer, Princess. I can only tell you that we managed to forestall the worst effect by coming to the temple and praying to the goddess Athena. A temporary respite, to be sure, but at least I created some time for you to come and bring the gods with you. Udea, what do you mean? I have no gods with me, only mortals from America. What do you mean, Princess? A blind I may be from this affliction, but here in this holy place, even my sightless eyes can see the glory that shines from your companion. Is he not Heracles, the son of Zeus? So finally, we reveal Hercules. And she's like, Heracles? And she's like, Diana, is it true? Say nothing more or less than that. Harold Campion. Oh, okay. So Harold Campion is the champion. All right. Got it. All right. Is that true? Yes, it is true. I am Heracles, Diana. Forgive me for deceiving you. I sought to make a retribution for wrong suffered at the hands of your mothers, but as she hits him, liar, as she punches him, liar, liar, how could you? But then she starts to shatter, and look at this. And he screams out, Diana, as she lies fallen into broken pieces. Wow, oh wow. That is wow. Next issue, our tale carries us from the depths of despair to the heights of Olympus. Join us in 30 days as the fate of Diana and all her Amazon sisters hangs upon the judgment of the gods. Whoa. Wonder Woman 121. Written and drawn by John Byrne. What a master storyteller he is. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.